Hi everyone, Mark Williams from Trixie, or TriXI, if that gives you a better picture of how Trixie is spelt. Thanks a lot for having me along today. We're super excited about the opportunity to work with Certus in New Zealand.
Hi everyone, Michael Key here. I'm the General Manager of Certus Digital. I'm really excited about today and how we can work with Trixie across our asset-intensive industries.
All right, so the reason why we're all here, and the first big question is, what is TRIRIGA? Mark?
The TRIRIGA we're talking about today is a Magic Quadrant leading integrated workplace management system that was acquired by IBM back in 2011. If you like to think about it, so TRIRIGA is like an enterprise resource planning system for your facilities. If you've got large real estate portfolio, then you really need TRIRIGA. TRIRIGA drives operational efficiency and creates much more engaging workspaces. For most organisations, and this is sometimes it's forgotten, and facilities managers certainly know this is the case, and CFOs know this is the case. But for most organisations, the cost of corporate real estate is usually only second to the wages that they pay people. TRIRIGA will reduce the cost of operating your facilities and will improve the productivity of your people.
Well, that's fantastic. And the fact that you could speak about that so knowledgeably makes me think you know what you're talking about. So can you tell us a little bit more about who is Trixie?
Yeah, sure. So we started the TRIRIGA business with IBM back in 2012, and I suppose we're kind of thought of as the TRIRIGA experts that help our clients build insights into smarter buildings.
Oh, that's fantastic. Thank you very much for that. If we're talking about facilities and building managers, what problem is it trying to solve?
So look, I think most facilities managers are past the point of acknowledging that they can't effectively manage their facilities using spreadsheets and little kind of databases here and there. I think we're past that point now. You know, that they might be struggling to make really well-informed decisions on what facilities and assets to invest in, what to divest, or what assets and facilities to run to end of life before replacing them. So, you know, I think that's a challenge that most building and facilities manager would have. They also really need now integrated information displayed through workplace metrics and analytics to help them make smarter decisions about where they invest and divest. There's also another challenge that's becoming more and more important, and that is that facilities managers are under pressure from human resource leaders to help retain employees, to help make a workplace where people are happy and really proud to be, and they're really comfortable in a workplace environment, and their productivity shows that as well.
Michael, do you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, no, we're seeing that quite a lot. We have a very strong, we take a very strong trusted advisor approach to our clients, and we do a lot around asset and work management processes. And so, but they are looking at their assets now as a complete single view of the asset and our intelligent hub of information. And so being able to look at space and property and lease and have a complete 350-degree view of the outcomes that they're trying to achieve is huge.
It's no surprise that investing in employee experience pays real and tangible benefits. I mean, it's beyond the kind of warm and fuzzies. It's, you know, we're investing a lot in building capability and recruiting the right people. And, you know, I think forward-thinking companies recognize this and are implementing solutions like TRIRIGA that empowers employees at every touch point in their experience around the buildings. You know, attracting talented staff is becoming harder and harder. Millennials have become such a large part of today's workforce, and I know from personal experience they can be a really tough crowd to keep happy. Incredibly productive and smart and fantastic, but yeah, we need to keep them happy. And look, I think smart companies are employing specialists in workplace experience, and technology is a natural and massive part of that. I think there's some key things that are kind of driving our ability to make that happen as well. So specifically, I think like the convergence of mobile, the Internet of Things, and operational solutions like TRIRIGA really allows employees to better engage with their surrounds. It helps them to be comfortable, to feel safe, and to have confidence in things like room bookings and facilities assets. You know, they want that, they expect that stuff just to happen flawlessly and seamlessly. And things like for real-time occupancy, so and indoor positioning. So when we're all used to using GPS outside, but now we're being able to use effectively GPS indoors, so that we can locate and navigate. Things like to be able to lead them to hoteling spaces and key rooms with directions indoors, that sort of thing, and people will just begin to expect that, and that's the sort of things that TRIRIGA can do.
No, thank you very much. That's real cool specific solutions that can impact the way that people experience their workplace. Michael, is there anything around the way that Certus goes about engaging that would add to this conversation?
Yeah, well, we have a big, strong emphasis on how to modernize and create opportunities to get access to information, and TRIRIGA helps with that. A lot of the older generations that we talked about have built their experience on doing the job and having 20, 30 years experience around how they do things. A lot of the millennials, as Mark spoke about, come in, and it's really about how to find the information, how you find it quickly so they can make decisions. And TRIRIGA allows you to do that a lot easier. And we're seeing that more and more in our interactions with different clients. And so having that capability is massive.
Cool, thank you very much. All right, so we've covered a little bit about how the facilities can be managed better by leveraging TRIRIGA. But when we talk about managing the spaces specifically, how does TRIRIGA make a difference?
Mm-hmm. So spaces are really core. They're at the heart of TRIRIGA. TRIRIGA can be used to maintain plans around your space management and to track space utilisation in buildings and structures. You can also manage people and assets that are in the space and to coordinate property transactions around that. TRIRIGA Move Management can be used to submit and process self-move requests. So, I want to move, or group moves, or to create whole designs and what we call stack plans around finding the most optimal way to keep cohorts together and to better utilise the efficiency of your spaces. And look, the other point on this stuff is that integral to the space management that we're doing, TRIRIGA BIM and CAD models. So I'm not sure if everyone knows. So building information models and computer-aided design are really kind of like maps. We all know maps, but they're maps internally of our building spaces, and that's really the core of what we use to build stack plans and to make sure that people are happy in the spaces that they're working.
How does TRIRIGA actually help me manage my things?
Wow, I'm loving the way you're picking up on the TRIRIGA lingo. Things is a thing we've kind of coined, so that's great. But look, let's not trivialise the role of looking after things. The things we're talking about are assets. Assets of significant value, assets that are buildings and the equipment that keeps them running efficiently, assets that make people's lives work easier and more efficient. In the context of buildings, we're talking about heating and cooling systems, what else? Natural and artificial lighting, right down to the workplace assets like desks and chairs, innovation spaces, and multimedia equipment. So, some assets can be mobile as well. For example, we can track the location, the use and servicing of really expensive and important medical equipment. We can do that in real time. TRIRIGA provides a full asset management capability, much like a Maximo. It manages reactive and planned maintenance. Like Maximo, it can take feeds from IoT devices to perform condition-based maintenance, which is pretty important. A really nice feature of TRIRIGA is the mobile user interfaces that are available for employees to raise service requests, for maintenance supervisors to manage schedules and job maintenance, and also for the field staff themselves. The interface is super modern and clean. It's based on Google Polymer version 3. It works on any device at any form factor. It's just a really nice mobile experience for users. This stuff ships out of the box with TRIRIGA, so there's really no need to engage specialist third-party mobile devices. It comes core in TRIRIGA out of the box. So yeah, a really neat solution around managing things.
And it also sounds like that's a good way to keep your people happy as well.
Absolutely.
So you're describing how TRIRIGA is basically it's a facilities management tool which has got asset management functionality built in. And it's really cool to understand that you can have an all-in-one solution that makes everybody's lives easier. Michael, is there anything that you want to add from a Certus perspective on the way to manage things?
Yeah, well, I think we all do work around managing things, but I think where TRIRIGA adds significant value is when you often do that work on the things, it's at a location, and being able to know the availability of that location, and coordinating the work and scheduling and the planning and everything that you do to fix or maintain those things, and to be able to rock up there to that location and know that that location is able to be accessed, that you're able to go in there and do the work that you're doing in that location, and not have that location booked out if it's a lecture theatre or a place in a space where it's occupied and you're unable to do the maintenance on the work, then that just blows out your cost. And so at Certus, we're really about how do you take an end-to-end business outcome and make it as efficient as we possibly can. Asset and work management around things is important, but how do you optimize that process? TRIRIGA, with its space management, its property management, gives us a real 360-degree view of the work that that client needs to do, which is clearly built on the things, but also it's how do you make those as efficient and optimized as possible.
Is there a way that we can look to manage that data better or feed that data into systems like TRIRIGA to help us better understand how our assets are being managed or interacted with?
Absolutely, because it's a little bit like we talked about earlier around that millennial coming in. They don't have that history of what's been happening with that building or that property. So it's really about getting access to that information and treating the analysis and the work that you do at a property or a facility as a complete system of intelligence. All of the data that relates to a building, you want to be able to access that. So whether it's coming through building management systems or alarms or IoT devices, you want to have that access to that data so that you can then make decisions around what your next steps might be.
I really like that term, systems of intelligence. It makes a lot of sense now that we've got all this information, all this data coming in. We should be able to get access to it and have intelligent systems at our fingertips.
TRIRIGA is a great opportunity to help you manage your workforce and to engage people in a much better way. Also to manage your spaces and to save cost in the way that you manage your facilities.
So if you look below the webinar, you'll notice that we've got a couple of different links there for you. There's some resources there which cover some use cases, some FAQs, and if there are any other specific questions that you want to ask, please feel free to use the link below.